Tell me I'm pretty. Tell me I'm cute. All right. Thank you. All right. So, uh, what's up? What's up? Welcome back. First and foremost, thank you for. Let me I do this every time. I gotta make sure it's aligned. So, you know, uh, it's the 14th of February, and it's nice. It's nice being at the 14th of February. Uh, if you're wondering what today's topic is going to be about, just wait. Just wait. Just stick around. You're gonna see. And yeah, like there's been a lot of things that I could say like have been very uh just very, I guess, life changing in a way, because you come across I mean I record this daily, so I can't be saying I go through life changing things every day, but hey, yo, you learn a lot in like 23, 24 hours. And so that's really, and I think that's one of the biggest challenges is like it being so, I gotta be mindful. Like in order to record these things, I gotta be so mindful because it's like there are little gems that I get taught every single day, and one of the biggest reasons I record this is so I could shine a light on those little gems that I'm learning every single day. Yesterday I learned a lot actually, and I learned how I learned how you can actually make a good day. You can choose to. You can just like, and today I got, it's like a little combination of like both, where it's like the, and I'll say the fundamental foundation for it, but uh, faith helps you make a good day. Faith really helps you make a good day. And I think without faith, it just, things get abysmal real quick. Like, you're probably wondering, what does abysmal mean? Abysmal means no sign of light. That's dark, bro. That's really dark. And so, uh, one of the biggest things I saw this morning was that to, I woke up and I like to not get up out of bed yet until I'm actually like, until I have a reason sometimes, and that's, I usually do that when I'm not feeling okay, when I'm not feeling like too, but when I'm not feeling too hopeful. Then I realized, oh wait, I could develop some faith. I could develop some like prayer, some sense of like, I could develop a level of prayer for myself. And I realized, oh shoot, that helps tremendously. And so I believe it's in that development of faith that you give yourself the ability to carry momentum. The ability to carry the ability to carry momentum and push things forward. Because without that faith, without seeing, without uh, without having a goal, without having a desire or a reality that you're seeking to fulfill or to step into, things get difficult. Things get very difficult, and you have to constantly uh, spark that. You gotta spark that you gotta spark that faith within yourself every single time you get the chance. And I realize a lot of times, like sometimes I beat myself up a lot if I don't wake up early in the morning, if whatever the case is, like and a big part about me beating myself up about those things was simply because it's like, hey, I don't even think I can, to a degree. And it's at the subconscious level, which is something I actually enjoy about developing faith, is that it works at the subconscious level, right? And it yeah, man. And so like as I began to develop more faith in the morning, and I got more like in tune with just like why I'm even going about doing things, and like the overall bigger picture, it's huge. It's huge, and it changes everything for me. Like personally, I really like one of the biggest things that matter the most to me is doing things, is developing my creativity, right? Developing my style, developing all aspects of myself to become more of who I really am, right? Character and everything. And that's something that is not necessary. Like, I'm not going to automatically think about that as soon as I wake up. At least if I don't get into the habit of doing that, that's not going to happen. And so it's in addition to like, hey, make developing faith a habit. Make it a habit. As soon as you think about developing your own faith, and by saying developing your own faith, like praying and tapping into your higher self, like as soon as you think about that, go after it. Go do that, because that's ultimately what's gonna help you. That's what's gonna help you aim. That's what's gonna help you, shift and change the world around you. And it's a very great and powerful thing to do, to develop those habits. And now there's another thing actually I really wanted to talk about today, which was, and this goes in addition to habits, but it's attitude and outcomes, and well, how habits and attitudes and that combination itself result into a better outcome, right? Like a prime example is three people could do the exact same thing, but if they do it with a different attitude, they're all gonna get a different outcome. And so that alone is huge. So it's like, okay, well, you're going to develop the right habits. You're supposed to do this specific thing, but you're probably not doing it with the right attitude. Now, let's break down what an attitude is. Now, an attitude, and you're probably saying, oh, of course I know what an attitude is. An attitude is a cluster of principles and values and principles. That's an attitude, right? If you're doing things with bravery, if you're doing things with honesty, if you're doing things it's the approach. If you're doing things mindfully, you could do things neglectfully too. You understand? So it's like your approach to these things matter, and so you're not gonna actually go at like three people. They do all the exact same thing. They're going to get different outcomes depending on their attitude, and that's a very important part to put into this whole play, which is like, hey, if you don't do if you're not doing the things that you want to do, or you're not coming out with the outcomes that you're looking for, hey, you probably need a better attitude. And it's not to say that, like, being like a demeaning parent of some sort, like, hey, check your attitude. No, it's, you need a better cluster of principles and values to follow in order to come out with a better outcome. Because you might be doing the right thing, just not the right way. So that's a big thing that I almost basically needed to remind myself of, because, hey, like, it's important to develop habits. It's everything. Like, from, it's you are just a cluster of habits and attitudes. Like, the fact that you wake up in the morning and do whatever you do, the fact that you go, like, you are your habits. That's what you are. You know what I'm saying? And how, the ones that you develop themselves, that's gonna depict a great portion of your life. If you have a habit of talking shit about yourself and putting your own self down, that's a habit, and it'll grow, and and you have to constantly come at your habits and see, hey, which ones are proactive and which ones are reactive. And you can tell reactive habit a reactive habit because it comes from a place of self-neglect. It comes from a place of, I know I'm supposed to do better, but I'm not. And that's difficult, because you don't want to be in a place like that. You don't want to be in a place where it's like, oh, I would have loved to do this, or I would have loved to do that. Well, hey, if you really would have loved to do those things, well, what kind of habit do you need to build in order to get those things done? Because it's not going to happen overnight. It's definitely not. You got to go after it day after day after day, little by little. And the big part is, a lot of people don't even realize this, but you building that habit is going to work on you more than you're going to work on that habit. That habit has an impact on you. You decide, hey, I want to walk every day to lose weight. Chances are you're probably gonna lose weight, but you're also gonna become happier because you'll be out in the sun. It's like one of those weird side effects to developing your habit that you're also gonna get. It's a good relationship to have with your habits. Then you mix attitudes into that mix. Attitudes is a whole different ball. Because you have to understand the values, you have to understand the principles, and those might take time. Those might take real time. So get to it. Get to it. Take paper, pencil, start drafting out ideas, start drafting out the values, the principles that you want to do, that you want to put together, because that's really what's going to help you. That's really what's going to help propel you forward and give you a better idea. Think about this. What habit, and we could do the math real quick. What habit mixed with matter of fact, let's say you want a chiseled body, right? You want to work, you want to get very strong and cut and lean, right? Working out, right? That's the habit, working out. What attitude might you need with working out in order to get chiseled? I'll say that again. What attitude with working out would you need in order to get chiseled? Like strong and cut. Consistency, right? Consistency. Maybe you need compassion because you got to start small. So now you have a habit of consistent compassion mixed with now you have an attitude of being consistently compassionate with yourself, mixed with the habit of what's it called? Mixed with the habit of working out, you'll be chiseled in no time. It is 1 + 1 = 2. And it's it's very practical. It's very simple. Yeah. And this protocol is called HAO. I made it a while back because I was going through a lot of stuff and I realized why am I not getting the outcomes that I'm looking for? You need the right attitude. Because you could talk to somebody, and let's say you're practicing sales, you could talk to somebody, but if you ain't doing it the right way, if you're slouched over and you're not confident about yourself, well, why would I wanna? I don't wanna. What? You need the right attitude. You could have a good day, and I think this is one of the best things that you have power over is like, yo, you can have a good day. You can choose to actually have a very good day. Like, put it together. You know what I'm saying? Like, find out what habit do you need, what attitude do you need, and sometimes the attitude might come first. Sometimes the attitude might come first, where it's like, hey, let me be consistently passionate with myself, start working out, and then I'll get chiseled and ripped. You know what I mean? Like, maybe the attitude needs to come first. And if that's the case, let's talk about that. Because that's gonna propel us forward, right? That's gonna propel us forward. What attitude might you need right now, huh? Let's see. What attitude might you need? You might need an attitude of you know, you might need an attitude of compassion. And I'll say that for starters is like, yo, every single day you're gonna be dealing with different kind of people. You're gonna be dealing with all kinds of people. You're gonna be dealing with individuals who and you need an unstated amount of compassion because you got no clue where these individuals are coming from, the challenges that they're going through, and like human to human, and it's not easy, especially if you're a type A, no excuses kind of person orientated. Yo, it's gonna be difficult to not, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole compassion thing for others, that might not be the easiest. That might not be. What are some practices you could do to help develop compassion? Be compassionate for yourself. And we ain't talking about no pity party. It's not a pity party. It's saying, hey, like, and this is a big one because you have to differentiate, especially when it comes to compassion. You got to differentiate the difference between it being a pity party and then it being just straight, yo, uh, this is what you want to do. This is where your goal. This is your goal. And I think compassion is a great immobilizer. I think it's like lubricant, especially if you're trying to get things, if you're trying to get things moving. It's a great lubricant because it states that, hey, you ain't got to do much to be enough. You're enough just the way you are. And when you start there, when you start at, hey, you're enough just the way you are, it's just up from there. You could build anything from that. And so it's like, all right, well, it's not a pity party because it's like, oh no, little poor thing, you know, couldn't do this, couldn't do that. No, it's you're enough. You have a goal. You're enough. You have a goal, and just, you know, whatever you do, like, I'll take it. Whatever you do, I'll take it. It's a level of acceptance. It's like you accept yourself. You're accepting. I think compassion is like it's like unstated. It's like an unconditional level of acceptance for yourself. That's how I'm seeing compassion for me, right? Because compassion, it's a lubricant. It helps you get things done. It sets a minimum for you. So anytime you go and you're like, hey, I want to get this done, and maybe you feel like, oh, it's too big. Maybe you feel like you can't do it. Yes, you can. You could do anything you set your mind towards, and I believe in you. Right? You mix compassion with a little bit of encouragement, and you get something powerful, something real powerful. You know, maybe that's what you need right now. Maybe you need compassion mixed with encouragement. Where it's like, hey, it don't matter any challenges that you're going through. It don't matter who you are, it don't matter what you are, it don't matter it don't matter where you came from. You can do it. You got the capabilities to do it. You can put the metal to it. Hey, take a paper, take a pencil, get to it, start believing in yourself. Believe in yourself and you can do it. Compassion is an amazing approach, man. It's an amazing approach and a mobilizer for especially for long-term goals. Because you're gonna come across challenges that you might not even know you were gonna come across. But you're stepping into unknown territory as it is. So hey, be compassionate with yourself. Say, hey, this is you for the first. You're doing this for the first time. Don't be like, don't hate yourself. Don't be like, you know what I'm saying? Don't pass yourself down because you just got started. That's a huge disservice to yourself. You mix that with encouragement, you mix that with kindness, man, that's a beautiful attitude to have. That's a great attitude to have. Because now all of a sudden it's like, yo, the sky's the limit. If you could do that for yourself, if you could be there for yourself, any habit you could do. You could take on any habit. You're compassionate, you're kind, you're encouraging. A while back, I realized how much of any success I had in my life was based on the relationship I had with myself. You know, because it's like that's what it was. The relationship I have with myself. Like I can't be, I can't be shitting on myself. I can't be calling myself names in the back of my own head. Like I'm not gonna get far like that. You know what I'm saying? You have to in order for you to go far, in order for you to get a lot of things done, you need a solid relationship with yourself. Right? You need principles like compassion. You need principles like encouragement. Tell yourself, hey, it's okay. This is new for you. Keep going. I believe in you. Very simple. Two principles and two principles alone could create an amazing attitude for you to get anything you want to get done. you know? And that's really it. Because think about it. You could learn any skill that could make your goals and dreams come true. Whatever skill it is. If you want to learn whatever, right? It's gonna be difficult. And if you're hard on yourself, if you're not like if you're not understanding towards yourself and you're not realizing like, hey, this is my first time. I've never done something like this before. If you're not understanding of that towards yourself and you're just mean towards yourself for no reason, you're gonna shut yourself down. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt to even try. And that's difficult alone to deal with, right? So it's you don't want to ever come from a place like that because it's like you're holding your own capabilities and potential hostage. It's not cool. Not cool at all. So anyways, uh that's habits. That's attitude. And that's something that you could take that with you anywhere. Take that with you like truthfully. Um, focus on that. And if you need a reminder, it's A, because we're gonna do attitude first. I feel like having the right attitude really does propel whatever habit you want to do forward into getting any outcome. So it's AHO. Okay. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, and see whatever we come up with tomorrow. I appreciate you for watching. If you got this far, as always, a link to the absolute best hoodie in the market with my signature on the front and a beautiful design on the back will be down below. A link to the mentorship, help you get clear directional towards your vision and fulfillment, because that's important. You can have anything you want in life, but if you ain't got fulfillment, you ain't got nothing. A link will be down below. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, if you got anything from this episode, please leave a like, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.